Okay, what's up everyone? It's Mira Crawford. Today I'm not doing a career post or anything of that nature. I am really just sharing my views on what is going on in Gaza. For those who don't know, I am Egyptian on my father's side and definitely grew up with the culture that is very similar to Palestinian culture, Middle Eastern culture overall, just like other cultures that could be regionally specific, are very similar. It has been extremely hard to watch what is going on in Gaza and watch what this administration has been doing, and yet seeing that friends and people that I know personally, um, some who really care and then some who are just ignoring it. And it really is heartbreaking because I believe that, the perception within America is Arab lives have always been a casualty of war. It doesn't really matter what happens to them. It doesn't matter if they live or die. It is simply because it is a war-torn area. But it is a war-torn area simply because of colonization and because of our influence there too. And the United States is greatly responsible for a lot of the war there. There's financial gain, and I'm not going to get into the political history of everything going on, but it is really hard. And if you are not checking up on, your Arab, Middle Eastern friends or Muslim friends, you're really doing a disservice, and it fundamentally does change your friendship because in other situations, such as Black Lives Matters, which it absolutely does, there's a lot of support and there's a lot of allies to stand there. But right now we are watching a genocide that the United States is endorsing by not participating. We'll support Ukraine, but we won't support pulling out of Gaza and demanding a ceasefire. And I'm sure you've seen many of the UN meetings where other countries are actually walking out on Israel when they are speaking about what's going on. They are not being honest, and we are in another Holocaust. And when we look back on history, we often wonder, how did we let this happen? How could we see such brutality against people and not do anything about it? But that's the thing, is that we're doing something, or the same thing right now. We're not doing anything about it. So I hold back tears because there have been so many children who've had nothing to do with this killed, over 8,000. I hold back tears because I see videos of civilians being shot at for doing nothing than just trying to survive. Women are on the streets. They can't even take care of their own personal hygiene, especially when it's their time of the month. It's cruelty. It's absolute cruelty. And I think it's really important for humans inherently to understand what's going on, but also defend our humanity. And what I am seeing is that there is a lack of compassion. And when there's a lack of compassion and a lack of empathy, that is really, really dangerous, because how do we exercise those characteristics in our day-to-day when we won't do it for people even if we don't see them physically? So I do encourage everyone to pay attention to what's going on. I personally believe the Biden administration has been an abomination. I have not agreed. I did not vote for him. I did not vote for Trump. I had several heated conversations with friends in the past about this, and this is why I say the lesser evil never works. And the United States is continuing to fund Israel, but we won't vote for a ceasefire, a humanitarian ceasefire. Meanwhile, other countries are saying that Israel is committing genocide. So if you haven't, check up on your friends, pay attention, reach out to your congressman, do what you can to raise your voice, because it really does come down to us. And I really do hope that this stops soon. But I don't know what's happened. I think the world, ever since 2020 and the pandemic hit, changed, and I think a lot of people stopped having compassion, and that's really disheartening. It's disheartening. So I wanted to share my thoughts on that. It's been hard. It's been very hard to see this, to the point that for me, I've had to walk away from my phone and the television and things of that nature just to clear my head. Because I do have family in Egypt, you know? Egypt's right there. Do I see them potentially getting pulled in? Yeah, absolutely. And it shouldn't only count when your friend has family there. Just like it shouldn't only count for my friend if someone in their family is suffering from something that I care, but otherwise I don't care. That's not humanity. That's not compassion. And the only thing that I can hope to do in such a limited space and in a limited capacity is share my opinions, but also hopefully raise a daughter who has compassion and empathy, and will use her voice and her strength to fight against things that are absolutely wrong. So take this as you may want to take it, and let's hope that this stops. Thank you for listening.